Well. Man, I'm still messed up about this tie. But we're gonna move on. Brian Schottenheimer believes the Cowboys can play better. My question is, what part of the Cowboys is he talking about that can play better? Let's go. Yep. Man, so much to talk about. So much to talk about. These Brian Schottenheimer press conferences, I mean, they are what they are. But nevertheless, he lets us in on some things, and I think we need to talk about them. All right, let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this live stream when you come in, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And we are live right now. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. So today, man, I put together a pretty good show. I got a lot more things to discuss, but hey, we got a whole week, so I'm gonna push some of those to tomorrow and to Cowboys After Dark. So today we're gonna listen to this Brian Schottenheimer press conference. I want to capitalize on a couple of things that I heard that he said, and then I want to give a state of the union on the Dallas Cowboys after the first quarter of the season. We're about to come off the first quarter of the season. Then we're going to listen to Jerry Jones' press conference, kind of hear some of the things that he had to say about the game and I think coming up with the Jets. Then I want to ask us the question, are we wasting Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott right now is literally the best quarterback in the league. And the way Dak Prescott is playing right now, Cowboys may need to do something right now as it pertains to their defense. But the problem is, what can they do? We're going to talk about it. We're going to listen to the Stephen Jones press conference, and then we're going to finish this thing out with Trayvon Diggs. Am I the only one that thought Trayvon Diggs was acting real weird on Sunday night? And then the video of him hugging Michael Parsons. And then his press conference. Still Trayvon Diggs, man. This dude Trayvon Diggs is acting weird. Weird. But again, that's the show for today. Shotty Presser, State of the Union, the Jerry Presser, wasting Dak Prescott, Stephen Jones, and Trayvon Diggs. Let's go. Let's get a quick roll call. Then we're going to get this thing rocking today. Yeah. Big Rabowski. Man, this thing with the tie messed me up so bad, man. My sleep and everything is off. Big Rabowski. He said, are we moving on to the Jets? Yeah, we're going to transition. We're going to start transitioning to the Jets. Not a lot to do. Mose Logan, what's up? He said, love your show. Look forward to listening and watching. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Doomsday Cowboys up in this thing. Yeah, we better win this Jets game. We're gonna get deep into the Jets game tomorrow, Thursday, of course. Starting tomorrow, we get deep into the Jets game. I watched them play on Monday night. Justin Fields will give the Cowboys some problems on the ground, but as far as everything else goes, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We steal them boys. He said we can play better. We're gonna talk about that for sure. Juice, man. What's going on with you? J. Lou, up in this thing. Man, let me tell you, I don't know what's going on with Brian Schottenheimer and Jaden Blue, but Hey, he gonna get on that field. You watch what I tell you. They need him bad. I'm not questioning the Javonte Williams issue. My issue is Miles Sanders. They need Jaden Blue. Cornell Cannon, what's going on? He said what the question about the final drive in OT. Yeah, they cheated the Cowboys. There's no doubt about it. That was actually one of my topics for the day, but I changed it. But they cheated the Cowboys. Not only was it illegal formation, but the time actually ran out and they know it. Jesse Julius, what's going on? Appreciate you too. My brother, appreciate you. LaQueen, my sister, how's everything going? Good to see you. Dak owns a bad defense. What's going on? Miss Matrix, Brandon Love, John Jones says, what up, G Money? I said it's a new Jack City. What's going on? Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the house. What up? Ty Howard, what's going on? Brittany Mahoney again. What's going on, my sister? She said, hello, love as usual. That's Sax guy. What's going on? Lord Nova 85, Jakira, what's going on? Yeah, he said, been waiting all day for your content. Appreciate you. He said, did you catch Dak Winged and Michael in the game? I didn't see it, but I'm gonna tell you, Dak is a savage and people don't realize it. Jared Thomas, #1 Dak Prescott fan. He says our defense is awful. He says our offense has been ridiculous. G, I think Dak Prescott will be your 2025 MVP. Well, he's on the right track. I think right now it's down to the first quarter of the season. It's between him and Josh Allen. All right. We're gonna read some more, y'all, as we get going. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. We'll get this thing started. All right. So let's get into this first thing with Brian Schottenheimer. As usual, Brian Schottenheimer is giving his press conference. We'll capitalize on a few things that he said, but not everything for the sake of time. Let's go.
Improving in some areas and focusing on areas that we need to get better, which there's a lot of those. But I think it's an exciting time for us because I do think that there's areas that we can make large improvements. We're having to play some younger players for injuries, but we're also playing younger players because we want to. You know, whether you talk about what we did with Nate Thomas yesterday, you know, rolling him some in at right tackle, and, you know, Shamar James getting some work. I mean, you have to play these young guys because you're going to need them at some point. So there's things we're excited about, but the focus is now, you move on to, you know, the Jets, another opponent, another championship opportunity coming in here.
Are you surprised that we're still talking about the struggles of the defense, particularly in the secondary?
No.
You have veterans there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, there's a way to stop having those conversations, and that's to play better. We're capable of playing better. We need to play better. I thought our first down run efficiency and overall efficiency on first down was, I think, the best we've had, like 65% win on first down. Where we struggled was third down again. And we need to do a better job of self-scouting ourselves and what are we struggling with and what formations are giving us problems and why. We need to practice third down better, you know. You know, and then obviously in the red zone, you know, last couple of weeks we haven't done a great job of keeping them out of the end zone. And so for us defensively, it's, you know, the explosive plays have been a problem, and then, you know, getting the people off the field on third down and making them kick field goals. That sounds like a lot. We can't fix all of that today. We can't go and put in a magic defense that's going to fix those things. We have to fix it through execution and team defense and communication and better coaching, and that's what we're working for.
All right, man, we're gonna get this thing started. I want y'all to chime in the comments on this right here. This point right here where Brian Schottenheimer says the Cowboys can play better. Can they? Can the Cowboys play better? I think the offense can play better, but I think we're asking a lot of the offense. This year, to me, looks like, again, 2023 on steroids. I'm going to talk about the state of the union of the Cowboys and some of the things I've said about them in the past as we keep going. But the question is, can the Cowboys get better? Now, it's not a matter of can the Cowboys get better. That's, understand how I'm asking this question. It's not a matter of can they get better, but it's a matter of can they get better because the defense, guys, the defense is so bad. I was thinking about this as I saw where Brian said this or where it was in the title, and I'm thinking, okay, defense. So the Cowboys, people say the Cowboys have help on the way. So the Cowboys have Savon Revel Jr. Cowboys have Overshawn, Agent Zero coming back. But will that make us better? I mean, we saw this defense last year, and don't get me wrong, Demario and Overshawn is the man, Agent Zero. I do think the defense is going to be better. But how much better? Now, if we look at the defensive woes the Cowboys are having, I think they have solved the edge rusher issue. Jadeveon Clowney played extremely good. He played extremely good. And I do mean extremely good. People don't understand. It was that dude's first game, no training camp. He gets out there in his first game. And I said before, the lineup I wanted was James Houston and Jadeveon Clowney. What happened out there? They get out there at the end of the second quarter. They crashed the edges. There was nothing the Green Bay Packers could do. It was either, if you look at that play, it was either going to be James Houston or Jadeveon Clowney. Both of them were about to get Jordan Love. He had no escape. They did something. What they did better with them was, with Clowney and Houston, was they didn't leave the gaps wide open for Jordan Love to slip through. And they crashed that outside so quick, there was no backing out of there and running. I mean, it was just a melee up in there. But my problem becomes, even with Demario and Overshawn, how much better will the linebackers be? How much better will the other two be? Murray, and I said this the week before, Murray has been bad in pass coverage. Our linebackers have been bad in pass coverage. Extremely bad. They are a part of the reason why the pass defense looks so bad. And then DaRon Bland, I think DaRon Bland is going to have to continue to work and get himself back up to superstar status. Trayvon Diggs, I think the best thing for them to do is kind of keep him on a pitch count. I don't think Trayvon Diggs can play an entire game. I really don't. I think it's too much for him. But does Savon Revel Jr. help us that much? Demario and Overshawn help us that much? And then when you look at the reluctance of the Cowboys, it is a reluctance to sit down Donovan Wilson and Wanye Thomas. Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker has turf toe. When Malik Hooker is ready, watch what I tell you, the Cowboys going to have him right back in. Can the Cowboys get better? That's the question. Can they get better? And can they get good enough? Because I don't even think they need a top 5 defense. But if they could get a top 5 defense, this is a Super Bowl team. I just don't think, can they get a top 5 defense? A top 20 defense will go into the playoffs. Even with this defense we have now, I think we're probably going to the playoffs. With this defense now, we still probably go to the playoffs as the last seed. But if they can get the defense to a top 20 defense, I know we're going to the playoffs. Maybe somewhere in the mid-pack. But if they could get a defense, if Jerry could find a way to get a defense by the middle of the season, this team could go to the Super Bowl. But the question is, how many? I just don't know, looking at this defense, I just don't know if this defense is one trade away. I don't think this defense is one trade away. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't think this defense is one trade away. I think this defense needs multiple players. And again, that's why I asked the question. It's not a matter of can they play better, but how much better? This defense is bad. There's no other way to slice it. They are bad. I mean, Overshown will help some, but how much? You still got the problem of the other two linebackers, whoever going to play with him. You still got that problem. Savon Revel Jr. I am not expecting Savon Revel Jr. Guys, we better temper our expectations on Savon Revel Jr. Savon Revel Jr. is going to be a rookie in this thing, man. He ain't played against no pro players. He hasn't played this speed yet. It'll take him some time just to get up to speed. So my question is, again, it's not so much can they get better, but how much better? This is a very good team. The offense, the scary thing is about the offense, it can get better. That's the scary thing about the offense. I have no doubt, as good as the offense is, it can be better because Dak Prescott is playing at a doggone insane level. He put up 40 points without CeeDee Lamb, and we have still yet to see Jaden Blue. The offense can get better for sure. The offense can definitely get better. Even some of the play design can get better. It is so much, it is scary to think how good the Cowboys offense is, and it can actually get better. But the defense, guys, I'm really wondering about the defense because I think we have a combination of scheme and players of why the defense is bad. Malik Hooker, they're trying to put a square peg in a circle. I just don't think Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson can play this defense. I mean, I really don't think they can play it. And it's going to take them so long to even get to be able to play it. I get what he's saying, they can play better. But I mean, how much better? Because even if you get a couple of players, the scheme in this defense, it's just, some of this is just bad play. Some of it is just bad play. And Calvin Watkins is asking a great question because, gosh, man, how much more can you simplify this doggone thing? How much more? I mean, you got one word communication and it still ain't working. We're going to have to wait and see. I think it'll take a whole, man, this defense going to take a whole, y'all check this out. Angie the Rebel Chicks, what's going on? She said, you don't sound like your chirpy self. Hey, Angie ain't gonna lie to him, a little bit tired, but hey, we gonna get it going. But the offense is 2023 on steroids. The defense, I'm just struggling with the defense. I'm struggling with the defense because I'm just telling us, some of this is just bad play. It's just bad play. And so the only way they're going to get better, and Shad, you make a good comment here, football politics, the Cowboys are just going to have to finally say, man, they're going to stop. The Cowboys could exponentially get better if they would just be willing to make some certain moves. Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell. People don't even, I don't know if some people realize it. I want you to think about the players that turned the game around. The players that turned the game around defensively. Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas, block a field goal, block an extra point, and return an extra point. They had that kind of impact on the kicking game. Jadeveon Clowney, you just brought him in. James Houston, I still don't understand it. James Houston right now is hands down the Dallas Cowboys' best pass rusher. Hands down. It's not even close. And they're still not giving him enough snaps. James Houston needs more snaps for the Cowboys, unequivocally. So, can they get better? It's a loaded question. Can they get better? And the question is how? Well, it don't seem like so far they're willing to make the personnel moves. We'll see how it goes as they keep going. But again, I don't think even trading for players, I don't think one trade does it for the defense. The defense is, the defense is, The defense is rough. It is. The defense for the Cowboys is rough, guys. It is. All right, let's read a couple super chats. Gene March, what's going on? Appreciate that super chat. Gene March said, let's play GM again. Let's do it. He said, would you spend all the draft capital right now for every defensive player we can acquire now, or wait in the draft to develop and possibly waste Dak playing at this elite level? All right, Gene, let's play GM. This is a very tough question. Gene, this is a very tough question. Because whatever defensive players you bring in right now, let's just say you trade the draft capital right now. They can't be 1-year players. They have to be 3-year players. They can't be 1 year. Number two, you just can't tie up a lot of money. A lot of people have been talking about the defensive tackle from the Tennessee Titans. So why would you tie up that kind of money in? You already got Oso Digizua. The Cowboys are going to have to, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to have to extend Kenny Clark. Solomon Thomas is playing really well. How much money would you have to pay the guy at Tennessee? I mean, you're going to have to tie up a lot of money in him. I don't think the Trey Hendrickson thing is going to happen. Not to mention, I think the Cowboys may be good enough at the edge rushing position where they don't have to spend that kind of money. So the place to me where they would probably need to spend the money would be the linebacking position. But who's available? Who's available? That would be the next question, Gene. Who's available? Then you talk about the cornerback position. Who could they bring in? It's really a tough situation when you think about, defensively, who could they truly bring in that really gives this defense a 180? Because I'm telling you, man, this defense right now, it is tough. And we're too late to do a coaching change. We don't even need to talk about a coaching change. It'll just be more chaos and disorder. I think the 3 defensive coaches in 3 seasons is taking its toll on the Cowboys. Mass confusion and not the right kind of talent on defense. But I tell you this, Gene, This is a tough question. Because Dak Prescott right now is playing so good. I mean, you're right, elite level. So you have to figure out a way. And this is what I think the Cowboys are going to be probably working on this season, because I think even Jerry Jones sees it. They got to figure out a way this season to get this defense, because I don't think it has to be a top 5 defense. I think a top 5 defense gets you a Super Bowl for sure this year. With the way Dak is playing, a Super Bowl would be this year if they could get this defense to top 5. But I think what they got to focus on right now is getting it to, can you get it to top 20? Can you get it to top 20? Man, I'm telling you, Gene, it's a tough question, man. It's a tough question. I was listening to a discussion on some people talking about this morning, and what do you do? I mean, who could you literally bring in? Because let me give you a prime example of what we saw this past Sunday night. Michael Parsons. The Green Bay Packers in the first game against Detroit, everybody said the Packers are Super Bowl bound. Put them in the top 5 power ranks. We have now watched 2 weeks in a row. Michael Parsons had 0 sacks against the Cleveland Browns. I don't even understand the sack. The NFL is petty for giving Michael Parsons that sack, because I don't think that was a sack. I think it was a great tackle, but it wasn't a sack. Don't understand why the Cowboys left a single tight end on Michael Parsons. Didn't get that part either. But Green Bay's got to be questioning themselves right now. Green Bay has got to be questioning themselves right now through the first quarter of this season going, we got Michael Parsons and we're 1-1? That's why it makes me wonder, who could the Cowboys bring in that could really make things swing at this point in the season? I mean, you would have to, the players the Cowboys would have to get are not out there. Those players aren't out there to me. Because, Gene, you're talking about the Cowboys would have to go out there and get what? The top cornerback? They'd have to go out there and get the top linebacker. And if they really want to be fancy, go out there and get the top edge rusher. Well, who's giving up those players? Those players aren't on losing teams. Well, Sauce Gardner is on the Jets. But Sauce Gardner, Aaron Glenn ain't giving up Sauce Gardner. You don't give up Sauce Gardner. But again, Gene, that's the conundrum. How much better can you get? And then people still don't have the system down. It might be Thanksgiving again, and we'll be saying that Thanksgiving finally got the system, finally got it. Because I've been hearing people say, man, if when the Cowboys finally get this Matt Eberflus system down, they're going to be dangerous. I'm struggling with that because I don't think it's just the system. I think it's a combination of the system and bad play. I think it's a combination of both. So, man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling on this one. R-Dub said, what up, G? I know you mentioned them not starting Diggs. I think it made him play better. Best game he's had so far. Yeah, I appreciate that super chat. R-Dub, let me tell you something, though. I think that Trayvon Diggs, this is why we're going to talk about him here at the end. Man, I think Trayvon Diggs is checked out on the Cowboys. And the reason why he played good, I think he's trying to play for himself to try to get that next deal. But, boy, he's checked out on the Cowboys. And we're going to see how this continues to go for the rest of the season. But, boy, this man Diggs done checked out on them boys. But, again, man, this is a very interesting question. You know, can they play better? The reason why I'm asking that is because it seems to be a combination of scheme and bad play. I mean, just bad play. Just bad play. I don't know how else to slice it. It's just bad play. Sanborn is, oh my. Boy, you have to admit when you're wrong. Man, my wife was asking me yesterday. She said, I thought you said Sanborn was good. I said, I did. We just had to admit he's not. He's not good. Now Murray is what we call in the hood, all right. He all right. You know, he all right. Damone Clark, Dallas Cowboys, that experiment has to be over after this season. The Cowboys are definitely going to have to go in this draft. Shamar James, they probably need to give Shamar James some more snaps and start trying to get him up to speed. Shamar James. But again, if I were the Cowboys, if they were going to make some moves, linebacker. Linebacker. I mean, they got to get a linebacker. Linebackers. Get somebody to go with Demarion Overshown. Safeties. Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas, and don't even look back. Cornerback, Elam is fine. Elam is fine. Stuart Reddy. It's crazy to me that we thought the biggest issue we were going to have was Jordan Lewis not being there in the nickel position. The nickel position really hasn't been the problem. It's the outside. Juice Maine, he said, don't forget Josh Butler. We'll see. We'll see. Rationale, he said, we are expecting some improvements with Bland Diggs getting Ravel. Yeah, Overshown back. Wanye should improve coverability. Yeah. And again, how much? Because then once you fix the personnel, then you got to get the scheme. Because I do not understand why people said everything we read and studied was this dude's scheme is easy. Well, it hadn't been easy for this team. It hadn't been easy for this team. But Sean Brown said, what up, G? We need a lot of help, and I don't know what will help us. Man, Danga said they're saving Revel, Carlson, Butler, and Mingo and Winfrey. They're saying they could be back this week. And again, Mingo will be great. Offense is already burning it up. But the defense, I just don't know if a player, it's a combination of just, to watch the Cowboys defense, it's crazy when you're watching it because you're like, wait a minute, man. We're watching missed tackles. We're watching being out of position. We're watching players who are just not fast enough. They're not good enough. The defense, the offense has been everything Schottenheimer said he wanted it to be, physical. The defense, defensive line, they've been physical. And especially this week, Donovan Ezra-Raku was out there killing it. Ezra-Raku was killing it out there. He was killing it. And again, Jadeveon Clowney, yeah, he was great. And I think he'll get better as the season goes. Linebacker, Overshown's going to help, but I still say they're going to need more because I'm telling you, I don't know if the guys on the outside of him are good enough. I just don't think they're good enough. So we're going to see. But this is a great, great question. You know, this is a great statement he made. But my question is, how much better? Offense, yes. Defense, boy, they need a whole year. But if the Cowboys can just get it good enough, if they can just get it good enough to where, okay, we're not asking you to hold teams to 10. Can you hold them to 20? This offense is good enough that if they can hold teams to 20, I think that'd be good enough for this offense to go deep in the playoffs. 20 points. That's all we're asking, man. Can you hold them to 20? I mean, at this point, guys, if you could just hold them to 24, man, if the Cowboys defense could just hold teams to 24, this offense is going to score 30-plus points a game. 30-plus points a game if they could just hold a team to 24 points. That's all we're asking, 24 points. Brandy said Sanborn needs to be benched. Sandboy, hey, I'm going to tell you that, Brandon. Sandboy might need to be cut. That boy is slow. Superstar status said, I have high expectations. When I have a reason to be given high expectations, not getting too high, too low, just one game at a time, week to week. Yeah, problem is with our defense though, Superstar. Man, this ain't even. We beyond week to week on them, man. We beyond week to week. Them boys are bad. Them boys are bad. They are. But the offense, man, incredible. Offense incredible. Dak Prescott is, man. Y'all might not remember, but I said Dak Prescott was going to have a better season than he had in 2023. And he's already on that trajectory. Already on that trajectory. Dak Prescott is absolutely balling. Let's check out a little bit more Shotty. We probably won't listen to all the Shotty so we can go on to some other stuff. But let's listen to a little bit more.
Clarence Hill, DLLS Cowboys, just a housekeeping note to start off. Any of the guys have a chance to come up IR or you start their window? Who are those guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about that, probably in through tonight and into tomorrow. I think there's a chance that there's a couple guys. I won't share with you who, but
Mingo.
Those conversations are a little bit early for us. We just kind of finished up the game, and now that we start getting ready for prepping the Jets, we'll have a better idea. But there's a chance that you could see a little bit of movement.
Secondly, in overtime, that you on fourth down, that you even think about going for it, considering how the defense that played to that point and try to put a touchdown up?
No, I mean, we had our shots down there. I didn't really like my third down play call. I thought there's a better call I could have gone with. That's me being accountable to the team and myself. But no, I think you got at that point, you're in overtime. You got to give yourself a chance. You get the lead, and we're gonna always trust our team. We're gonna trust the team, and unfortunately, we weren't able to win the game, and we came away with a tie, and it doesn't sit well with any of us. But no, I didn't second guess that thought.
Brian Todd Archer with ESPN. Through a month here, you guys have the highest rated offense in yards and things like that. But when you look at complementary football, is your third down offense something that you needs to get better? Maybe in an early in games, you only scored 10 points in the first quarter. Like, that's a way that you can help your defense in a manner of speaking.
Yeah, I think so. We never look at, hey, we want to be the first, best offense in the NFL. We want to lead the league in wins. That's what we want to do as a football team, and we don't really get caught up in the rankings per se, either good or bad, because it doesn't really matter. You got to find a way to win. But I would say, we did some complimentary things yesterday. I thought we finally won the turnover battle, Todd. I thought that was good. James Houston sack was a huge play, and then we were able to go out and sudden change. But, yeah, we can be better on third down for sure. And part of it is, being able to live in more third downs and manageable and things like that. We're certainly talented enough to do that. And then in terms of, time of possession, that certainly helps as well. But I will say again, we came out yesterday and, the plan all along was if we get to third manageable in the first drive, I was planning on running it the whole time. Very good front, saw some things that we thought we could take advantage of from them. They were pretty aggressive blitzing defense, and they kind of had us out leveraged. So their call was better than our call on the first third down. But again, it's a 60-minute game. I'm the first one to always preach it to our guys. You can't win the game in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You're going to win it in the fourth quarter. And so we'll look at it. But the third downs would probably be the biggest thing I would say that we just need to make sure we're on top of.
And then
one of the things when you think about what they're asking about the Cowboys, the third down, for example. Let me tell you the blessing and the curse. And I don't know how you I don't know how you fix this. But it's good the Cowboys defer when the first half of the game turns out the way the first half of the game turned out. Let me show you the blessing and the curse. So the Green Bay Packers score first. The problem is with that is the Cowboys, by the time their offense get on the field, now they're having to kind of get warmed up. They're not coming off the warm-up from the pregame warm-up. Now they got to warm up because they had the pregame warm-up, and then they're typically sitting down because the defense can't get anybody to hardly go 3 and out. They're sitting down. They're sitting down watching the other team go down the field. And so when they get back out there on the field, now they got to get warmed up. And so we're watching failure in the first quarter. Well, the second quarter, man, let me tell you, that second quarter for the Cowboys was an anomaly. You can't expect that to happen for you. Don't even expect that to happen again this season. To get a blocked extra point, return for 2 points, and then come right back out there and get a strip sack, fumble, recovered, and get another touchdown. Don't expect that. You're typically not going to get a 9-point swing like that. And you get a game that goes from 13 to 7, looks like you're about to be down at the half, and you go in 16-13. Then when you come back out, well, it's a little bit different when you're 16-13 and then you get the ball first in the second half, which I'm not sure. If my memory serves me right, we didn't score on that first drive, I don't think. But nevertheless, the Cowboys have got to figure out a way to start fast all the way around. Not only do they need to start fast on defense, getting a 3 and out, so the offense can get out there and still be warmed up. But maybe sometimes you might ought to consider getting the ball first and just going out there. Your offense is the strength of your team, and let your offense take it to a team. But I think they believe their defense is such a liability. They'd rather see where they are by the end of the second half and then try to mount a comeback in the second.
Another overtime game. Do you have the same? How do you take care of guys' bodies? Do you think you'll do the same Wednesday kind of deal?
Yeah, there'll be some things that we tweak. I got to see all the numbers still. I haven't seen all the numbers from the the catapult and all that stuff. We'll adjust something, but I plan on practicing. We'll just see what it looks like.
And with Pickens, what did you when you made the trade? Did you reach out to people before that had been around this guy to say, what is he like? Tell me about him. Did you do any of that?
Oh yeah.
What were you told about?
Different things. How much he loved football, and that he loves to play the game, and you might have to deal with him being late occasionally, and some things like that. Which sometimes we all oversleep. I could have slept a few more minutes this morning, but I didn't. But for the most part, it was all positive, and the people that we spoke to in and around the league and in Pittsburgh and at Georgia, they were very honest. And I think that's the cool thing about this league is people are honest, and you have to be careful whether it's good or bad information. You do your homework, and then that's part of the process. That's not the only process. And from the minute I sat down with George Pickens in my office and we shot some hoops, it was very clear to me that this guy was fired up to be a Dallas Cowboy and excited to help us go win games.
Has he been late?
No comment.
John Schottenheimer with The Athletic. You talked about simplifying things on the defense in previous weeks. Is there any more simplifying left to do, or is it as simplified as it can be?
Yeah. Yeah, Schottenheimer, you got to laugh on that, bro. I mentioned that earlier. Man, how much more simpler can you make a doggone defense, man? Come on, man. How much more simpler can you make this thing, man? Other than just letting them get out there. Hey, man, just get out there and just do what you do. I mean, come on, man. I don't know how much more simpler you can make this thing.
No, there's definitely some simplifying we can do.
Come on. Come on, Brian. Boy, you know doggone well. How much more can you simplify this thing, man? I mean, the only way you can make this any more simpler is just, hey, go just straight backyard football. Hey, whoever's in front of you, that's who you cover. I don't know how much more simple you can make this thing.
You know, like when you look at it, it's a good question, a fair question. You know, we didn't tackle very well yesterday. Like
Nope.
That's one of the things that happened to us. Yeah, we just didn't tackle well yesterday. And I talked to the guys about it. You know, we've got a thing called cup tackling where you've got an outside piece, you've got an inside piece, and then you've got a guy, you know, coming down from the top, and so it creates a cup, if you will. And we lost our cup at times. They had a very specific plan. They wanted to attack us in space, and so they were throwing the bubbles and the perimeter screens and things like that. And our cups weren't very good, and then we're still tackling a little bit high. And again, I know you asked me about simplifying. The other area that jumps up from simplification part is teams are attacking us on third down with quick cadences. If you go back, we forced a 3rd and 9 or 10, I think, on the very first drive, the very first third down of the game. I think it was 3rd and 9, and they kind of quick counted us, John, and we weren't ready. And talked to the guys about that today. The best type of defense is a ready defense, and that starts with us getting the call in from Flus, getting the call communicated, and then getting our cleats in the dirt and getting ready to play. And it started with Chicago. They did it to us some. And so people are going to challenge us with that. So you implement that a little bit more in practice, and you do a better job of preparing those guys. And the number one way to fix the third down issues on defense is to emphasize it and do it more in practice, which we will.
You know what? I know how he can simplify this defense even better. When I played football back in the day, you know how they simplified the defense? Change some people out. That's how you do it. You want to simplify it? Start putting somebody on the doggone bench other than Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, make it that simple. Hey, man, you don't perform, you're going to sit your butt on the end of the bench. That's what you going to do. You're going to sit your butt on the bench. Period. That's how you can simplify it. That's how you can simplify it. Start sitting some people's butt on the bench. In particular, the safety play. The linebacking play, I don't know what the Cowboys can do. Again, bringing back DeMario and Overshawn is going to help tremendously from the middle linebacker position. But the other two linebackers, bro, it would behoove the Cowboys. It would not hurt my feelings. Now, don't go out there and trade no first-round draft pick. But, man, it would be great if the Cowboys could get a better linebacker by the trade deadline. Not somebody off the couch. Get a better linebacker. Get a better linebacker. Because I'm telling you, man, you simplifying teams, and I love what Shotty's doing. Shotty's trying to save face for Matt Eberflus and some of the players on that defense. Bottom line is they get blew off the ball. On third and longs, teams are running screen plays.
The flip side of that,
because they know the Cowboys won't tackle and can't tackle. Cornerbacks, with the exception of the run blend, can't tackle. They're not great at tackling. Safeties are great at tackling, but they're all out of place but when the play is going. Linebackers, over pursuit, under pursuit, missing tackles. That's why they're running screens on us. They're trying to get away from that defensive line. The Cowboys got a great interior. How do you get away from a great interior defensive line? Screens. And because the Cowboys are rotating players, man, you got to think about what happens when you rotate players. It's a blessing and a curse. Okay, Donovan Ezraku and, let's say, Jadeveon Clowney, great pursuit edge rushers. But they're not out there on a certain play. Okay, so their two best pursuit edge rushers are not out there, so we can run a screen on Fowler. We can run a screen on Williams. We can run a screen on Nealon because they can't tackle or they're not going to be able to get the pursuit to the ball. Boy, the Cowboys, they are in a tough situation with that defense. And I feel for Brian on this because I know he's trying to save face from Matt Eberflus. But boy, he's in a tough situation.
defense, if someone was like, okay, so what is a positive that you feel like on the defense that you guys can build off of, what would that be?
Run defense. I mean, our 2 D tackles, Osa and Kenny,
Yes.
played their
Elite
2 best
defensive
games
tackle
yesterday.
play.
I thought those guys were excellent. I think our run defense is good. I've talked all week ad nauseum about Josh Jacobs and what a great back he is and the power and size that he has. But we did some really good things on first down, and Donovan Ezaraku, man, he just continues to excel, and he played really well. And in between the tackles, Jack Sanborn's been really good for us. But if we can make people one-dimensional, it gives you a chance. And so the answer to that question would be, I feel very good about our run defense.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. How are things looking for Malik Hooker and Tyler Guyton?
Yeah, I think Geit's in the protocol. I think we feel like he's got a chance to play this week. Hook's got something we think a little bit more serious. Could be a couple weeks, finishing up a few more tests, but he might miss a little bit of time.
On that note, what have you guys liked about Wanye Thomas throughout your time here, and then to be in that role yesterday? How do you think he performed?
Well, again, one of the biggest plays of the day was the block, on the extra point. Huge, game-changing, momentum-changing play. I love his professionalism. I love his work ethic. I love his grit. Smart. He is a good communicator. I think that's important. We're looking to improve the communication, and I think he does a really good job with that. And he's actually gotten a lot of reps in practice because, we're smart with what we've done with Malik and Dono from a practice standpoint. So he'll definitely be ready to go. And, again, I thought he did a nice job for us yesterday getting called upon.
I still say this is the Cowboys' biggest problem. I really think their biggest problem is they will not put Donovan Wilson and Wanye Thomas on the bench. I think it's one of their biggest problems. It's one of their biggest problems. And either you're telling me that Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas is terrible in practice, or you're telling me that you're playing politics. Donovan Wilson, I don't care. And, sometimes somebody say, yeah, he played better this game. I don't care. Better ain't good enough. Donovan Wilson playing better ain't good enough for me. Malik Hooker playing better ain't good enough for me when we're giving up 40 points. Change them out. Change them dudes out. The reluctance to change out players for the Cowboys is what's slowing them down. And a part of me believes the Cowboys are in some kind of steal as far as the defense goes. They're still in evaluation mode. I really think this is where they are. They're either in this weird evaluation mode, or they're saying, we just need to hold on until Overshown and Josh Butler and Savon Revel Jr. get healthy. You're still going to have those 2 safeties. You're still going to have 2 of those linebackers out there, unless you let Shamar James, unless you let Shamar James and Maurice Leofau. And if you can stop Maurice Leofau from doing boneheaded stuff. But I think their biggest problem is they won't change our players. There is no way that Jack Sanborn needs to touch the field for the Cowboys again this season. There's no way. No way, unless it's somewhere around game 10 and this dude has gotten it together to a point that maybe he can do a little bit of spot play. This dude is terrible, and I hate to use that term, but he's terrible.
From your perspective, how has this offensive line been able to stay so consistent despite a couple starters being out? You had to deal with the issue with Guyton and Steele during the game, yet you were still able to find running lanes and keep Dak mostly clean.
Yeah, number one, the brotherhood, that unit in most organizations is super tight. These guys are incredibly tight. Every Thursday night there's a dinner with the offensive line and the quarterbacks, and they spend a lot of time together. But I don't think it doesn't happen without a belief in what you're doing from a scheme standpoint, a belief in what you have with a coach like Connor Riley and Clayton.
Okay, I appreciate the answer that Brian Schottenheimer is giving. You want to know why Micah Parsons and the Green Bay Packers were not effective against Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott. The way Dak Prescott was maneuvering in the pocket was incredible. You go back and watch the tape on the way Dak moved in the pocket, sliding to the left, stepping up, sliding to the right, getting out of the pocket. Dak Prescott has been incredible. I mean, incredible the way he's been moving in the pocket. Some of it is the offensive line. Yes, they've been doing a pretty good job. But Dak Prescott has been doing a great job of getting out of harm's way. Dak's playing on another level right now.
Adams and guys like that, and it's pretty amazing to think about the team we just played and their ability to rush the passer, that we're able to do that.
Dak killed him. Not only did Dak kill him with the way he moved, Dak killed him getting rid of the ball, making the right reads. Dak is doing something that people said Dak could not do. Dak is no longer throwing to receivers. Dak is throwing to spots. Dak is throwing to where they are supposed to be, where he wants them to be, where he wants them to run. Dak is leading them to the places they need to be. Dak has been absolutely incredible. Not taking anything away from that offensive line, but man, Dak Prescott is making them look a lot better than they probably are. Dak is making them look extremely good.
Protection plan was good. It was sound. And a guy that probably doesn't get talked enough about, that did a hell of a job yesterday, and you guys can pull up the clips, was Javonte Williams. He was cleaning edges for us a lot, and there's times where you want to keep him in, and those things don't go in the stat book. But I thought he was incredible at that yesterday.
Read a couple of comments here. Kevin Ellis, he said they better be ready for Justin Fields. Man, let me tell you, I watched some of that game. Justin Fields is still Justin Fields. My son would get mad if I said that. But Justin Fields is still Justin Fields. He's not that good of a quarterback. And I don't know, maybe some of it is he don't have the weapons or whatever the case may be. But boy, you want to talk about running the ball. Man, I watched Justin Fields at Ohio State. Man, I did not know he could run like that. Man, that dude turned a 4th and 1 to a 40-something yard return. Boy, whew. Yeah, the Cowboys going to have their hands full with Justin Fields. But Justin Fields is a very simple quarterback to play to me. The only weapon he has is his legs. That's it. That's it. That's all he has. Nothing else. His legs. Keep him in the pocket, you'll be fine. You will be absolutely fine against the Jets. Yeah, Lock and D, he going to run all day. Maurice Leofau would be my spot for him. He's going to run all day. Yeah, Michael Smooth said the defense is so bad it hurts his feelings. Yeah, they pretty bad, man. They are pretty bad. And again, I think some of this is I think some of this is them. Some is the scheme and some is them. The basement boy's in the building. He said he'll be at the game. Yeah. Superstar Status said Dak looks like what he was on pace to do in 2020 before he got hurt. Man, I'm telling you, man, Dak Prescott is not, man, not only does he look different with that, the body recomposition and the beard and mustache combination, but man, this dude is just playing on another level. He is just playing on another level. It's just not explainable. Dak is balling out. And man, if I'm Jerry, I got a sense of urgency. How can I wouldn't be playing around no more. We're making personnel changes if it's me. We're making personnel changes, and then we're going to go out here and see what can we get. What can we get? And I'm telling you, I do think the thing that they need right now, they need a linebacker, because I'm telling you, DeMario Overshown is not going to be enough. Not with these linebackers. He need another one. He need another one. There's no doubt about it. He needs another one.
Tommy Arch, DallasCowboys.com. When you guys brought in James Houston on the first practice at camp, did you think that he would be having this much of an impact for you?
Actually, I did, Tommy. I really did. I mean, because we had a hard time blocking him. We really did. Like, I remember in training camp, him winning on a rush on one of the early third down. It might have been a 2-minute period. But it just goes to show you, there's great football players out there everywhere. And what I love about James is, here he is going out and creating, havoc for the quarterbacks and making a strip sack fumble, recovering himself. But he's also running down on kickoffs last week, making the opening kickoff, and did the same thing yesterday in terms of making plays. And he's getting better against the run, and that's not necessarily his strongest suit, but he's working on those weaknesses. And anybody that's willing to work on their weaknesses, to me, is someone that you're excited to have on your team.
James Houston should be getting more snaps. Straight up. C-Bay said none of that, what he just said, matters anything if the defense is still the exact same come New York Jets game. Let me tell you something. New York Jets game is going to be tough. Watching them last night, it's going to be tough. And the reason why it'll be tough, if the Cowboys are reluctant to put a spy on Justin Fields, it's going to be tough. Dude can run. He can absolutely run, but the Cowboys have an opportunity, and we're going to look at the Cowboys' schedule here in a moment as we talk about the state of the union of the Cowboys. We're going to look at the Cowboys' schedule because I do think the Cowboys still have an opportunity over these next 4 games. They got to put themselves in position to be ready for the guys who they're looking forward to coming back. They really have to put themselves in a position to be ready to take advantage of when those new guys come back when those guys come during the bye week. And maybe Jerry will even get a player or two also.
With CD and Tyler Booker, have you guys learned anything more on them and if IR is a possibility?
Yeah, they're both trending in the right direction. We're not going to make any decisions right now. I think we'd rather not. I think Book's out of the boot, which is great. And I think both guys are getting better. And we'll see what the time frame looks like. But I don't think we plan on doing anything, certainly right at the moment. But we reserve the right to change our mind.
They'll miss the next 2 games.
I'm Skyler Dixon with the AP. You mentioned earlier coaching a little bit more on third down defense, and I think you practicing a little more. And you may have kind of answered it with talking about the quick snap you a few times. But how do you feel like you kind of practice third down defense better, and how do you balance that versus maybe kind of psyching guys out about it and putting too much emphasis on it?
It's a fair question. I don't think you psych guys up. I mean, these guys are professionals, and whatever we emphasize, Skyler, I mean, they're usually great about. They get it. I mean, they don't sit around and read the stats, but they know. I mean, you can't look at our stats and not know that we're struggling on third down. You put a little bit more emphasis on it earlier in the week, which adds 4, 5, 6 more reps, maybe on Wednesday a little bit more, and then you start throwing in more Thursday, and you probably got to give up something on first, second down to steal some more reps on third down. You got to steal some from red zone, and you got to be smart. But that's where the balance of a well-constructed practice schedule and the emphasis in front of the room. And again, I said to the guys today, it could be this week, it might be next week, where we win a game 10-3. And our defense has 4 takeaways, and I mean that's the ebb and flow of our league, and that's the way things happen. So this is a football team. It's the greatest team sport in the world, and it's the most difficult team sport in the world because of how difficult it is. But we will emphasize third down. Why? Because we're not good enough. It's not the standard, and therefore you're crazy if you don't.
Joe.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Dak talked a lot about the timing yesterday with his receivers, and that was one way to kind of counteract the pass rush that can get after the quarterback quick. What is just the behind-the-scenes kind of group effort to decipher, hey, what is our timing going to be on this play, this play, this play, and how impressive is it, I guess, to keep everyone in sync in that regard?
Well, we talk about a couple different things. We talk about the time clock of the quarterback and the rhythm of the pass. We talk about launch points, which is where the quarterback throws from. You never want the quarterback just to be sitting in the well, at 7.5 or 8.5 yards deep, right behind the center. So we try to change those up a lot. I do think that there's a lot that goes into the fact of, Dak and I's relationship and, understanding, we call it the play caller's purpose, which means when we call certain plays, there's a design of what I'm looking for as the play caller, because there's nothing worse as a play caller when you've got 1st and 10 and you call a pass that should make you, let's say, 5 or 6 yards. And you're like, you see the look, and you're like, okay, boom, I should be 2nd and 4. And then you're like, oh, man, it's 2nd and 10 because the ball goes someplace else. But I think, he's seeing it really well right now, and he's playing with confidence, and he's, just, like I said, playing firm on his back foot. And if you have a firm back foot, you're normally going to be getting the ball out on time and in rhythm, and that gives guys a chance to run after the catch.
And MetLife is obviously, the turf discussion comes at every time you guys have to go to MetLife, or anyone does. Do you have an opinion on that, and do you talk about the turf when you talk to your players this week?
No, I was there for MetLife's first game. I was the coordinator. I remember we beat Cincinnati in 2009. That was the last game ever played, I guess, in the old one. And then I was there for the first one. But no, those are things. That we spend more time talking about the opponent.
This is The Athletic. Brian, as a former quarterback, and you've been around the league so much, building off of what you were just talking about, what are the signs you see when a quarterback is just feeling it, dialed in, whatever the case may be, and the way Dak is right now?
Well, I appreciate you putting me in the same category as Dak and some of the elite quarterback side. It's something. I did throw the first touchdown pass of the 1996 national championship season. Go Gators. I think the biggest thing is the trust that he has in all of our players, all of the skill guys. Like we talked a little bit last night, about Ryan Flournoy and Jalen Tolbert with a big, huge conversion for us in the 2-minute drive on a shallow cross, and the scramble play and the catch by Tolbert, which, again, I knew was incredible. I did not know how incredible it was. There we go. Is that you, Brad? No. Yeah. No, it's okay. It's all good. That catch was incredible. But I do think that. I think it's just the trust that he has in throwing the ball to wherever the read takes him, and trusting that those guys are going to be in the right spot. And that sounds simple to the world, but it's not.
It's not simple.
You're talking about an elite pass rush group that was all around him. And, the throw he makes to George Pickens on 4th down is an incredible throw. It's low and away. He's got to move up because they're coming off the edge. And, that doesn't happen without lots and lots of practice.
And then you've had 2 overtime games now. You lost the coin toss in both overtime periods. The way that this new overtime is, has the results of these 2 overtimes informed you even better for when you do win a coin toss, how you might go with it?
Yeah, I think we have a plan. I'll share with you guys, if we would have won the coin toss, you're not supposed to say defer.
I was about to say
kick in overtime.
They would have kicked it.
Because you want to know what do you need, because if they go down and they get a field goal, then you're going to probably be aggressive and maybe go for it on 4th down and things like that. And so I think that's kind of the new realm that we all go with. But what you guys have seen really in both of our overtime games is the 10 minutes. It does go fast. And the next thing you know, you're like, well, hell, we got to go. Because I know they felt that, in Green Bay. And so that's part of it as well. But I think we're all adjusting to it, but that would be our plan.
Garrett.
Garrett Bodell, CBS Sports. Brian, I think Miles Sanders left the game briefly yesterday. What's an update on him?
A little ankle. I think most of the tests have come back good, so I think he's trending to be able to play.
And a month into the season, Jaden Blue is yet to be active. Where is he at in your program, and what does he need to do to suit up on game day?
Very close. I'll say it again. I've said it a number of times, Garrett. He's practicing really, really well. I challenged him a few weeks ago on being consistent. He's done that. He's becoming one of our best offensive practice squad players. He gives the defense an incredible look with his speed and playmaking ability. So very close.
Patrick.
Hey, Coach. Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Just kind of feeding off of that. With Miles dealing with the ankle, even though he's trending towards playing against the Jets, obviously that you got to have an insurance policy against that. Jaden Blue is one, but how does that color your conversations to come this evening on a guy like Phil Maffa?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we'll talk about. Again, the one thing that we have, and it was a little bit of a scramble yesterday when Miles went out because, we had to do some moving of parts on special teams. I thought Nick Sorensen and his guys did a great job because we had to pull Hunter off of some of the teams. Hunter's a guy that plays 4 core, but when he becomes your backup, runner, we had to make some adjustments. So we'll have those conversations. But again, I think kudos to Nick and his staff. And I mean, that's the unseen or unwritten thing that happens on game day when, they come up and they tap you on the shoulder and they say, hey, so-and-so's this or so-and-so that. It's not like, okay, cool, we'll figure that out later. Like, it's immediate, and you're like, okay, tell Nick, tell Flus, whatever it is. And, it's wild when you think about, we have these guys dressed and you can't use them all.
Get back to Dak for a second. A lot of people think yesterday may have been his best game. What do you think he's playing? You were certainly here in 2023 when he had his best season of his career. How would you compare where he is now to where he was then?
I don't really look back very often. I'm not trying to avoid the question, but I don't look back. I think, the player that I see every day in practices the way he plays. And I think, we've preached a lot here, I believe here, that practice is what separates us. And that's why I go back to the third down thing. Like, okay, well, just practicing it doesn't mean that you're going to improve it. Well, no, but it gives you a chance. And so I think the guy that you see performing on Sunday nights and Sunday afternoons is the same guy that we see on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Usually Wednesday's a little bit hit and miss because there's some new plays and new installs and we're trying things and he's trying throws and stuff like that. But, man, I would say his practices really for the first 4 weeks, have been outstanding. So you go into the game as a play caller with a ton of confidence because you're like, yep, saw that on Wednesday, saw it on Thursday, saw it on Friday.
You talked about earlier about the play design has a purpose. It seemed like last night he was on lockstep with you with the purpose because getting the ball out quick, taking the short things early, and is that part of what you're talking about? Because he said just being a veteran, been here 10 years, that's why he's playing the best.
I would agree that it helps, man. There's not much he hasn't seen. There was a play early in the game. We were in a double chip edge protection deal. We're trying to push the ball deep down the field. We're trying to neutralize the 2 edge pieces, which are great players, and they kind of all got out of there, and there was a little bit of leakage. I don't remember where, and he boom right to it was Javante, right to Javante. It was 2nd and 4 for a 5-yard gain. Bam, brand new set of downs. Well, as a play caller, man, you're like, all right, here we go. Like once you get the drive started, it's so much easier after that first earned first down as a play caller, and as a quarterback as well. You get the first one, you're kind of like, okay, there's a rhythm that kind of gets started. So things like that you're just like, man, he's executing and running the offense at a high level.
Todd. You talked about the missed tackles earlier. There's always going to be missed tackles. Do you guys have maybe 0 is the number that is acceptable each week for you? But how many were there, and how many would you look at are not acceptable?
Yeah, well, we had too many. I don't have the exact number in front of me. Those usually are getting tallied up once we get the grades and stuff in, and I just don't have those numbers in front of me. It was too many, because what happens? If you've got a guy and you've kind of got him in the cup, and let's say it's at the 30-yard line, all right, and you should get him, and we say either knock him sideways or knock him back. That's our words. You knock him sideways or you knock him back. Well, if that guy that should be tackled at the 30 gets up to the 34, 35, 36, that's 5 or 6 hidden yards. Well, that over the course of 70 plays, those 4, 5, 6-yard hidden yards become 40, 60, 70. And we're too good at tacklers to let that happen. And so there's a technique to it. And I don't think it's anything new to the league, Todd, the way, people, are smart with practice and how they do it in training camp and stuff like that. Usually tackling gets better as the course of the season, but we need to get better. And it starts with technique and using our hamstring tackles and using your leverage of the cup that we're trying to create.
How much did you go back, maybe the first time you looked at it this morning, and say, really, there's 1 second left?
Was there 1 second left?
Maybe it was a half a second.
No. Look, hey, that game didn't come down to that. You know, we had our chances as a football team, and but yeah, if that ball gets kicked around just a little bit more, would have been interesting.
If it doesn't hit him, it's game over, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going there.
Yeah. You know, illegal formation.
Yeah. Huh? We don't have the clock operator.
NFL hires.
Get him, Tad.
Pays that position. Yeah.
It's at home. Home field advantage.
How about we put you in charge of the clock?
Yeah.
I'm not pointing fingers, but it came from over there. Anything else? You guys good?
One more. Revel, is he taking a step back? Where is he at? Right
No,
now?
he's part of that discussion that we'll have over the next couple of days. No, I wouldn't think so. Again, you know, these things are all different. Everybody's timeline's different. You're talking about a young player, young player that's dealing with a lot, learning the defense, having to go through all the rehab, and he's doing good. Yeah, man.
When Dak was trying to get to the end zone and Mike ended up tackling, Ferguson had the block, but is that considered a missed block or what net represents?
No, it's a tough matchup. I mean, literally,
why
if
match
we
him
look
up?
back at it again, we probably would have told Javante, it goes with me, put Javante over there to help him, but that's a tough matchup for Fergie.
Too tough.
Again, about another half yard, and might have been a 1 yard gain. Sorry, Micah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they was asking a question just a second ago. I want to answer that question real quick. Let me give you an astounding stat, and then we're going to roll into the State of the Union of the Cowboys, kind of talking about where they are and then talking about the schedule they have coming up. Well, the Cowboys, they put together on DallasCowboys.com like the numbers, the numbers that told the game. Let me read this super chat from my man Calvin Richard real fast. Calvin Richard says, Sam Boy should be called Sand Trap since he runs like he's stuck in wood. Calvin, I called him Quicksand. Quicksand, bro. This dude is running in quicksand. He is, I just don't understand it, man. The way they talked about this dude they were literally upset when the Chicago Bears didn't tender him, man. A lot of the local beat writers in Chicago absolutely love this dude. So he ain't playing what the flip here. I can tell you that. Again, appreciate that super chat. Now, I'm sure, and I'm not sure, but maybe he asked this question to Brian Schottenheimer because he knew how many tackles that the Cowboys had missed on Sunday night. Look at this, man. This is incredible. The Cowboys, Dallas's defense, missed 18 tackles on Sunday. Let that sink in. They missed 18 tackles. What? 18? Look at this. They missed 18 tackles on Sunday night as their struggles to bring ball carriers to the ground continue. Green Bay had 239 yards of offense after contact alone. What? That is crazy work. That is wicked work, man. Josh Jacobs, 111 of those yards. What? I could not sleep at night. I can't. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I wouldn't. I would not be able to sleep at night. That is ludicrous. That is ludicrous, man. 18 tackles, 239 yards. Wow. Let's look at some of these numbers real quick. Kind of told the tale of the game. Some that kind of caught my eye. Let me look at a couple of them. Jake Ferguson has 34 receptions already. Incredible. 34 receptions so far is the most through 4 games in league history for tight ends. Wow. Still ain't getting no yards after the catch. Let's see. There was another one here that caught my eye that they wrote. Says the Cowboys couldn't get off the field when they needed to the most. The Packers were able to convert 10 of 14 third downs. What? 10 of 14? Wow. 71.4% on third down. The Cowboys, meanwhile, were 4 of 11. We are too good to be 4 of 11 on third downs. Play selection on third downs probably need to change. Through 4 games, Dak Prescott has completed 72.9% of his passes for a league-leading 1,119 yards. He also leads the league in both completions, 121, and passing attempts, 166. Led by Prescott, the Cowboys currently have the number 1 offense in the NFL in terms of yards per game with 404.3. Y'all might, I don't know if y'all remember, but I already told you this Cowboys offense is going to be top 5, and I said more than likely top 3. Wasn't going to surprise me, and I won't be surprised that by the end of the season, the Cowboys have the number 1 offense in the league. It will not surprise me. Dak Prescott is playing on that type of level. And finally, the Cowboys were called for 11 penalties against the Packers, resulting in 95 total penalty yards. Wow. That does not include several penalties that were offset by Green Bay penalties, or those were declined. 5 of Dallas's 11 penalties gave the Packers a free first down on offense. Cowboys are killing themselves, man. Killing themselves. Self-sabotage. All right, I want to look at this Cowboys schedule real quick. Kind of talk about the Cowboys State of the Union. So, the Cowboys right now, first quarter of the season. I think the Cowboys are still in pretty good position. 1-2-1 is nothing to get alarmed about. Especially when you look at the fact that inside of that, the Cowboys could have easily been 2-2. Cowboys could be 2-2. Could have been 3-1 if you look at Philadelphia with the drops. Chicago Bears is the only game that we've really been beaten in. And I really attribute that beating to the fact of the fumble in the first quarter on the first drive. And then on the second drive, CeeDee Lamb going down, not having a whole week to prepare to be without CeeDee Lamb. So the Bears took advantage of us. So the Cowboys could probably be, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you are at this point what your record says you are. And this 1-2-1 to me kind of fits what the Cowboys have been this year. They've basically been all offense. The Cowboys have been all offense. Defense, absolutely atrocious. So the Cowboys have got to find a way. And I saw some things they did better in the game, but a lot of it was still the same. And again, third downs is killing them. The Cowboys can put teams in third and long, but they can't stop them. They're stopping the run. They can't stop third and long. So probably have another couple of weeks before the Cowboys start getting back. We're just talking about Booker and Lamb. But I think Mingo should probably be back after this game. Savon Revel Jr. will report in October, I believe. Josh Butler should be ready pretty soon. Demarion Overshown will probably be right before Thanksgiving. Will not be surprised if they let him play in the Cardinals game, November the 3rd. That's the one I'm circling. So now that we've seen, we've got a snapshot of all these teams on the Cowboys schedule. Y'all tell me what you think. I'm going to come to the comments here in just a moment. But the Cowboys have a great opportunity. They have a great opportunity after looking at these teams we've played so far. I told y'all, I'm not trying to enter into prophet status yet, but I told y'all the Green Bay Packers were beatable. Told you how the Cowboys could beat them. Place we failed was on defense. We couldn't get it done on defense. But the Cowboys should have won that game, even with the technicalities of the illegal formation. I don't believe there was any time left on that clock. I don't care what they say. But again, spilled milk. So the Cowboys have a 5-game stretch. After looking at these teams play, if the Cowboys can just get something from their defense, just something, the Cowboys literally can go on a 5-game winning streak. The Cowboys can go on a 5-game winning streak before the bye week. The Jets, the Cowboys, I do believe, win. Normally don't give my prediction this early in the week. The Cowboys, I do believe, win, but they're going to turn it into a game that's tough. They're going to make it a tougher game than it should be. Thankfully, we're playing them also in October, so it won't be freezing. The Cowboys should be able to beat the Panthers. We've had the Commanders' number. I do believe we beat the Commanders in Dallas. The Denver Broncos has not been anywhere near what anyone thought the Broncos were going to be. Nowhere near what the Broncos. So the Broncos, and we'll see how it progresses over the next few weeks. But right now, the Denver Broncos look beatable. It looks like Bo Nix, I believe is his name, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is starting to suffer from the same thing that happens to all these quarterbacks. Man, they come out here and they beat these teams and everybody's like they're the best thing since sliced bread. Bronco, the quarterback, rookie quarterback, oh, best thing since sliced bread. Well, not probably the best thing since sliced bread now. They are looking very beatable. Very, very beatable. The Broncos, who once were thought to be unbeatable, they were another one of these teams that people were crowning. The Broncos are 2-2. The Broncos are actually 2-2 for anybody who didn't know. 2-2. Very beatable. Very, very beatable. The Cowboys actually, when you think about it, have an opportunity to go on a 6-game winning streak before they play the Detroit Lions. The Raiders have been terrible. The Raiders have been terrible. Absolutely terrible. But this next game, Cowboys should be able to beat the Jets. Again, I think they're going to make the game tougher than it should be. Should knock off the Panthers, knock off the Commanders. The Broncos will be very beatable. Arizona Cardinals, yeah, we're beating Kyler Murray this time. And the Raiders. Man, the Cowboys I see no reason at all the Cowboys shouldn't go on this win streak. Barring everybody stay healthy and they get back healthy. Cowboys they should start tearing it up right before they go on that bye week. There is no reason why the Cowboys can't. Oh, my man Danny Dallas, Cowboys, let's go. He said, G, I'm at the hospital because my mom had a stent put on her heart this morning. She's in pain, and they brought her back to the hospital, and the doctors are looking at her to see what they can do. Yes, sir. Let's give a moment of silence and a quick prayer up for Brother Danny. Amen. Amen, Brother Danny. Got your mom up in prayers, my brother. Appreciate you. All right, let's get a little further into this. Daniel M says, pick a player you want off injury list come this week when Hooker goes on injury reserve. Probably Josh Butler for sure. I think Mingo comes off. Winfrey probably will come off too, Daniel. So I'm imagining pretty much almost all of these players are going to come off here pretty soon. Let me see here. Oh, man, Newhouse fam. Boy, if we had the Browns defense, man, you might as well go ahead and book it. We would be in the Super Bowl. We would be in the Super Bowl. Yeah, pure game, and the defense is giving up 36.5 a game. C-Bay said, don't put Elam back out there now. He said, I'm not trying to see Fields hit Garrett on a deep pass with Elam blown coverages. No, Lord. I think they're going to have to, though. I just don't think Trayvon Diggs is ready for a full game. Trayvon Diggs is not ready for a full game. Trayvon Diggs, bro. 30 games. I said it before this game. 30 games is plenty. 30 snaps is plenty for Trayvon Diggs. I don't care if you let him start. I don't know the big deal about starting. Let him start, especially if you're going to go back and forth. If you're going to alternate in and out anyway. If the man want to start, let him start. All right, let's go. Newhouse fam said over $30 million in cap space, 2 first-round picks, and Jerry looking at the injured list for help. Newhouse fam, don't forget, George Pickens is going to be a part of that money. Brandon Aubrey's going to be a part of that money. Brandon Aubrey's going to be a part of that money. And I do believe, Newhouse fam, the Cowboys are going to make a move before the trade deadline that is probably going to eat up some of that money too. Now, I'm sure the Cowboys are going to make another move before the trade deadline, if not two. No, one thing I'm going to give this front office credit for. They have been pretty consistent on doing what they've said. I don't think they're done with the players. I don't. Lisa Worley, Jalen Tolbert played really good. Where I was impressed was his blocking. I saw some blocking, and this dude was nice. Rob Yah, man, you and me both. Bro, I'm tired of all these excuses with Jaden Blue, man. We could have used that dude in the last game. I'm tired of the Jaden Blue talk. Get this dude on the field. I don't want to hear nothing else about no dang practicing and he getting close. Ron Hanna said, well, if that's true, what are we practicing? Because what we're going in the game is telling me we're not practicing very well. Yes, sir. Tell it like it is, Ron Hanna. Yeah, I'm very confident that Jerry is going to get some players. Star Guardian, he said at this point, the offense can beat any team in the NFL. The defense doesn't need to be great. They just need to be average. I agree. If they could just get them to top 20. If they could just get them to number 20. Oh, they'd be great. They'd be great. 72 Chevelle call. He says, I still don't like his pressers. They seem they see the same players who aren't hustling like we see. And those who are not attacking, we learned at 6 years old. Okay, those who are not tackling like we learned at 6 years old. Yeah, I agree. And this is what tells me that they're still evaluating players. They're still evaluating players on the defense, and I don't like that. But it is what it is. But I'm telling this, man, the Cowboys got a great opportunity. Y'all tell me what you think on this schedule I just put up. The Cowboys have a great opportunity, man. If they can just get this defense shored up a little bit, just a little bit, they can make they can literally go on a 6-game run. Jets should get us to 2-2-1. Panthers 3-2-1. Commanders 4-2-1. Broncos, the game that I thought was going to be extremely tough, shoot. Cowboys can win that game 5-2-1. 6-2-1 against the Cardinals. Man, the Cowboys could be 7-2-1. There is no reason that the Cowboys shouldn't have a minimum. The minimum is 5 wins by the bye week. But I think they can have 6 or 7 easy. Because their offense is a problem, man. Their offense is a problem. Straight up. Straight up a problem. So the Cowboys really need to start. And I do think Jerry is already in this mode. I think they're going to try to figure out somebody that they can bring in that they feel like that can be a big help. But for me, I don't think it needs to be the edge anymore. I think we're good enough at the edge. I think Jadeveon Clowney and James Houston are going to rev up and Donovan Ezra is going to rev up. We're going to be fine at the edge rushing position. If there was any position I could get the Cowboys to go out and trade for, linebacker. Bland, Diggs, Revel, and Reddy might just be good enough. Switch out Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas. That back end may be good enough. But the linebackers, I would bring in some help for Demarion Overshown. I would bring in some help for Demarion Overshown. Because if they can get some more help at the linebacker position, get better pass coverage in the linebacker position, man, this team will be nice. This team will be nice, man. Because I do think some of their pass woes, is in the linebacker position. I do. Daniel Lim, let me go back. Let me see what you just said, Daniel Lim. Daniel Lim, did you just say you see 9 and 8 for the Cow? Let me see. Not Daniel Lim. Is Dominic Pittman. Let me see here. Maybe that wasn't you, Dominic Pittman. But I could have swore I just saw somebody say 9 and 8 for the Cowboys. Man, ain't no way. Oh, there it is again. Derrick Rose. 9 and 8? Ain't no way. The only way this team remains 9 and 8 is this defense remains atrocious. I do think the defense will get better. I just don't know how much better. But if they could just move them to the top 20, man, even if they could move them to 22, now they're not going to be 9 and 8. They have a great opportunity just with this part of their schedule alone. The Cowboys can beat every team on that schedule. And I'm going to even say should be at least 4 of those teams. Jets should be a win. Panthers should be a win. Raiders should be a win. Arizona should be a win. The Cowboys have a minimum of 4 of those 6, but I think they can get all 6. I think they can get all 6 of them joints. I don't think neither of those teams can hold the Cowboys offense. Cowboys should easily score 40-plus points on those teams. If the Cowboys can find a way, man, if the Cowboys can just find a way to keep teams at 30, man, I'm going to give it 30, man. 30. If the defense can keep people to 30, they can win all 6 of them games. Because it's going to be hard for teams to keep us to 30. Barring injury. Now, ain't no way, Derrick Rose. Ain't no way they going 8-1. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That'll be a total collapse. Ain't no way. Yeah, I agree with you, Bama boy. Yep. But going from here, the first quarter of the season, I think a lot of people anticipated the Cowboys either being 0-4, 1-3. I was kind of like could be 2-2, 3-1. Well, they're 1-2-1. Not quite 2-2. Not 1-3. That half game may come in handy. But I do think the next 6 games, the Cowboys have a great opportunity to go 6-0 in those next 6 games. Those teams, especially the teams that we thought were not going to be beatable, Broncos and the Commanders, man, way beatable. Way beatable. Way beatable. Because if you win those 6 games, you win 5 games, you go into a bye week, you beat the Raiders, you get the Eagles at home, that's going to be a win. I believe the Eagles and the Cowboys are going to split. Cowboys are going to get the home game. You'll get the Chiefs in Dallas. I do believe that is going to be a win. The game against the Lions is going to be a monster, though. The Lions are going to be a monster. But the Chargers, they don't look so quite unbeatable anymore either. They don't look as unbeatable. We're going to see what happens. They're 3-1 right now, but we'll see as it goes. But I'm just looking at this little 6-game block the Cowboys have. 1 game at a time, beat the Jets. I do think the Cowboys will beat the Jets. They should beat the Panthers. Commanders going to be great at home. I think they're going to beat the Commanders. Broncos, Cardinals, Raiders. We'll see how it goes. But the Broncos, they're not looking as good as they did before. Yeah, Daniel M., we need to beat the Jets and the Panthers. And again, and that'll get us on a little bit of a, let's get some momentum going, for sure. Let's read these couple of super chats. Star Guardian X, appreciate you. Yeah. Star Guardian said Turpin already giving defenses fitted wide receiver. Man, if we have Turpin and Blue together, defenses will lose their minds. Make it happen, Shotty. That's where I am, man. Make that happen, man. You got to get all that speed on the field. Sean, you make a great point. We have to face off on a lot of mobile quarterbacks these next 6 games. Well, I'll tell you this, they kept Jordan Love in check for the most part. I think they can continue on that trajectory. Jadeveon Clowney is going to help with that. James Houston will help with that too. So, and I'm hoping they move to a spy technique on these quarterbacks. But I can tell you this, Clayton Adams ain't going to approach these Cardinals like Matt Eberflus approached the Raiders. Man, let me tell y'all something. Clayton Adams has been incredible. Cowboys offensive coordinator, offensive line coach, quote unquote, he's been incredible. They've been mauling teams on the offensive line, boy. They have been physical up front. Physical. Absolutely physical. Mo said that Williams get back game against Denver. Okay. Oh, yes. Mo's, woo, boy. Didn't even think about that. Man, Javonte Williams going to run for 300 yards against the Broncos. Javonte Williams going to run for 300 yards against the Broncos. Guarantee you. Ron Lowney, you are exactly right. Man, you scoring 40 points and can't beat teams. Man, if we can just get the defense to hold people to 24, we'll still beat every team. We can beat every team in front of us if we can hold them to that. All right, let's get a couple of more sets. Let's get a couple of more segments in here real quick. We kind of talked about it. We can kind of talk about this thing with Dak Prescott right now, about wasting Dak Prescott. We've already talked about the numbers of Dak Prescott, which are absolutely incredible. The Cowboys have got to figure out a way to shore up this defense. They have got to get this defense in check. When you got a quarterback playing the way Dak Prescott is playing right now, man, you have got to do any and everything you can do to get this thing going. Again, we talked about this just looking at Dak's stats right now. I mean, 72.9% of his passes, a 72.9% completion rate is crazy. 1,119 yards is crazy work. The Cowboys have got to find a way to, sooner than later, because it seems like to me they're in doggone evaluation mode for the defense. They got to get out of evaluation mode and just start saying, bro, we got to make these changes. Let's see where they are in the NFL on quarterback rankings. Let's see here. Okay, they got the power rankings. I don't too much like this fantasy football stuff. Let me see what they're talking about here. Yeah, I definitely don't go by no fantasy football stuff. But again, the Cowboys have got to figure out a way. Because playing better, it don't matter how much better the offense plays if the defense is going to give up the equally amount of points. You have got to find a way to get this doggone defense. Man, I'm serious. If you can just get this defense to be top 20, and I'm talking about number 20. I ain't even talking about number 19 or 18. If you could just get them to be number 20. If you could get them to hold some teams to 24 points, the Cowboys are more than likely going to beat any team you can hold to 24. Let me see here. Also, ESPN has his power rankings up. I want to look at those real quick. But the Cowboys, when you look at what Dak Prescott is doing, it is incredible. 404 yards per game. If there has ever been a season that proves what I said long ago, and people didn't like it, it's when you look at the people around Dak Prescott. That's been a lot of the failure with the Cowboys. It's the people or the things around Dak Prescott. 72 Chevelle, appreciate that super chat. Carl, you make a great point. How can Revel and Agent Zero be great help, big help, when neither of them have even played over 1 year? Don't count on them the way y'all are talking about. Be real. Yeah, I like that, Miss 72 Chevelle. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. You know, I said kind of temper your expectations with Savon Revel Jr. Just temper our expectations. This dude's got to come in and get up to NFL speed. He could come right in and be an absolute monster. But I do think that we need to temper our expectations on him, because we're going to have to give him a little bit of time to get up to speed. A little bit of time to get up to speed. So, but the Cowboys have got to do something, though, because Dak Prescott is playing so well. So well. You have got to get something. Damon Bama Boy Davis. This is who they've been talking about. I think it's Jeffrey Simmons. Don't think the Cowboys are going to do that. That'll be a lot of money tied up in the defensive tackle position, even though it would probably be money well spent. If I'm not mistaken, he's got a pretty big deal. The Titans would eat some of it, but the Cowboys, I think, would still have to eat $17 million of it, depending upon how they do it. But I'm telling you, if it was me, if I were the Cowboys, I would be going after a linebacker. I would be going after a linebacker and maybe a cornerback. I think the safety answer is right there on the squad. Put Wilson and Malik Hooker on the bench. Simple to me. Put them on the bench. Man, Mose Logan, that's a good point. Move Diggs to safety in this point of his career. Man, he could probably play center field. You know the only problem with him is, though? He's not a tackler. That would probably be the biggest problem. He's not a tackler. Yeah, Robert Dudley, when Dak is flushed out of the pocket and throws, he's dangerous. Man, he tore that pressure up, man. Jakira, I believe we can get the next 6. But if we can get 5 or 4 of the next 6, man, I think they need to get 5 of the next 6. They need to be at about 6 wins going on the back end of the schedule. They definitely need to be at about 6 wins. The power rankings right now, let's look at those real quick. Eagles, Bills, no surprise. Lions, no surprise. Rams, 4. Chargers, 5. Bucks, 6. Chiefs, 7. Now look at this. Green Bay in the last 2 weeks have been beaten by the Cleveland Browns. And this is the one that really should have knocked them down. Do y'all realize the Dallas Cowboys beat the Green Bay Packers without their best players on the field? Let that sink in. I mean, I'm not sorry, beat. The Cowboys tied the Green Bay Packers without their best players on the field. That's crazy work. Still got the Green Bay Packers at number 8. Seattle Seahawks, number 9. Colts at number 10. Steelers, number 11. 49ers, number 12. That's fool's gold. Broncos, 13. Jags, 14. Baltimore, How in the world are the Baltimore Ravens ahead of the Cowboys? Their defense is a mess too. Baltimore Ravens at number 15? Wow. Washington Commanders at 16, Minnesota 17, Arizona 18, Falcons 19, Chicago 20. Let's see what the Cowboys at 23. Cowboys at 23, they moved up one spot. Yeah, third down efficiency, both sides of the ball. Yeah, Dak Prescott playing at a high level. Issue is, but with a defense that's struggling, the offense needs to be better on third down. Through 4 games, the Cowboys converted 42.5% of their third down tries. They have to do better. Yeah, they got to keep the defense off the field. Yep, I feel them on that. All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can get this thing. We've done the Dak Prescott segment. Let's see if... Okay, I want to get off here about 9 o'clock. Trying to debate if we want to do Steven or Jerry. I think Steven talks a little bit better football than Jerry does. I'll go back and listen to Jerry tonight and see if there's anything worth bringing up on tomorrow's show. Okay, let's go and see what Stephen Jones has to say. See what Stephen Jones has to say about the Cowboys, because I think he would be the one that would probably be talking more about personnel. See what Stephen Jones has to say.
Ready to roll right here on 105.3 The Fan, brought to you by Ford and your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
Well, we're all trying to figure out if we should be happy, sad, or neutral. And I know Jerry said it's best.
Man, I ain't lying to you. That tie messed me up. I just don't think there should be ties in professional sports. I just don't think there should be ties. The Cowboys should. The league got to do something about this. I don't care if it is the regular season. There should be no such thing as a tie in professional sports.
Better than if they would have lost, which is objectively true. But did you have a bizarre feeling after the game wrapped up last night?
Absolutely. I mean, the same feeling y'all are having. I mean, we had internally. I think everybody had it. I mean, the locker room was quiet, but I think Jerry did say it best. It's better than losing, but it's damn sure not winning. And we let an opportunity get away there. I thought we had our opportunities to win the game, and it's part of the journey that we're on right now with our new staff. It's just especially the defensive side of the ball, is getting our hands around and executing what our coaching staff is wanting our guys to do. But I do think we're getting better each week. I know it's not showing up on the field. Certainly you don't want to give up some of the big plays and the points that we're giving up right now, but we've got to continue to grind. The good news is offensively we're making a lot of plays and keeping us in the game, and defensively we just got to we get one stop there in any of those drives in the second half, we win the game.
You just said even if it's not showing up on the field, you feel like the defense is getting better. What do you, I'm not disputing that, but what do you base that on? What is your metric for saying that I think we're moving in the right direction or the defense is getting?
I can answer defensive line. The defensive line is looking better almost every week, it seems. I thought the defensive line looked a lot better on the edges, even though Josh Jacobs, man, he ran some yards on us. The defense looked a lot better on the edges. Glenn looks better than what we've had. It looks like Wilson he played a little bit better. I could see that, but they probably need to make it ain't no problem. They need to make personnel changes.
Better.
It's the guys getting their hands around how to execute the defense. And I think they're getting their hands around it. I think they're understanding it. It still takes all 11 to be, to get the job done. And, we're just having some little things there that cost you when you don't execute the call on defense. But I do believe that, the guys are getting their hands around it. certainly a blow there to lose Hooker. He's the quarterback back there and great communicator, and so that.
A blow or a blessing in disguise? Having Malik Hooker out may be one of the best things to happen to the Cowboys. Wanye Thomas got an opportunity to me, Wanye Thomas has a chance to push Malik Hooker. That if Wanye Thomas comes in here and does what we think he can do, we're going to really know there's some politics being played. Gene March, appreciate that super chat. Yeah, that's a great point. Shotty got fired in Seattle for letting Russ cook. Now he's letting Dak cook, maybe pushing MVP. Yeah. Shotty can do what he wants to do now. And I think he's only going to get better as it keeps going.
That was a tough one to lose in the game last night. But, and I do feel like, with getting Clowney in there, I do feel like we're starting to, albeit, we're not getting the production with the sacks. I do feel like we're getting more pressure.
How are y'all feeling about Malik Hooker going forward?
We don't know yet. Okay. We're waiting to get the final results of the MRI on his foot, and we'll go from there.
Any thoughts then also on Tyler Guyton after concussion last night?
He should be in good shape. It was one that, our guys feel that he can get through protocol pretty quickly, but that still remains to be seen. But definitely had a concussion there at the end of the game. I know he was frustrated because he wanted to go back in anyway, but our guys didn't feel like he passed the protocol there in the tent.
To add to that, though, Guyton he had a pretty good night. Nate Thomas had a pretty decent night. What were your feelings about how your tackles managed things on the edge?
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. I mean, obviously, Mike is an elite player, and we had a lot of things going on there with him in terms of different ways to show him different looks with some of the chipping and the double teams that we were doing. But he's a great one. But I thought I agree with you. I think our tackle showed up. I think Steele did some really nice things, and it's great to have Nate Thomas getting his feet wet in a game, especially one of that magnitude. I know it was unfortunate that he had the alignment issue, but he'll get that straight.
It always felt like there was a plan last night for Micah or for the pass rush coming from the Packers, like a plan that was created by Schottenheimer. Last night was a really good play calling on his part. What did you feel about? I just felt like he was in his bag. What were your thoughts on his play calling and the rhythm he was in last night?
Yeah, I think he was outstanding. I think Dak was outstanding. I think Dak got rid of the ball like he was amazing in terms of getting his read done. I mean, he knew that he had to go faster with what the Packers could do from a pass rush standpoint. They're a really good defense, and put 40 points on a defense like that. I thought our offense really executed in a big way. George Pickens did a great job. I thought Javonte ran the ball extremely well. I just think we're doing a good job, and when we protect the ball, we got a chance to score a lot of points, and I think that hurt us in Chicago. I mean, you turned the ball over 4 times, and all of them pretty much, in position where you're going to get points. 2 in the end zone, 1 to George that would have put us in field goal range, and then the unfortunate Javonte strip. That's going to keep you from getting points. But when we protect the ball like we did last night and get the ball out and don't take negative plays, good things are going to happen to this group.
And on the flip side, you're able to force a turnover via James Houston. This is somebody who really feels like they came into training camp and took every opportunity that he got, he excelled in. What have been your early thoughts on James Houston making a difference with this team?
Well, he's doing everything that's asked of him. He's obviously his superpower is to rush the passer. That's what he's really good at. But I tell you what, he shows up in other places. I mean, he'll cover kicks on special teams. Nothing's beneath him. he just gets out there and plays football. And we're fortunate to have him, but what a great play and what a, certainly a big reason as to why we won the game. Why we tied the game.
It's still confusing for us, too. I get it.
It's confusing. Bad miscue there. I wish we won the damn game. But anyway, that's a huge play he makes there. And certainly we were needing momentum in that first half. We were reeling a little bit, but you could feel the momentum coming our way, and to finish with 2 touchdowns there at the end of the half right there was huge.
I know playing decisions are going to be up to the coaching staff, but were you surprised at all to see Trayvon Diggs was not starting this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Trayvon's been battling his injuries and, his time on the field in practice. And, as we said, we're just trying to get everybody their reps. I thought when he got his chances in there, he did a great job. And, I do think
Trayvon Diggs played really well, I thought. Thought he played pretty good. I don't see the big thing about starting when you're alternating, but again, big deal. He still wasn't going to play more than 30. Because again, I don't think the Cowboys going forward should let him play more than 30 snaps. I say keep him fresh. The knee thing, I'm still not sure he's 100%. I say let him do like he did last night, man. And I'm sorry, not last night. Like he did on Sunday night. He did well. He seemed fresh, when he was in there, he seemed fresh. And had it not been 12 men on the field, he got an interception. He would have had an interception. So I think they should let him keep playing the way he's playing. Star Guardian X said, man, I fall in love with Javonte Williams more every week. Javonte Williams is balling. But I do want the Cowboys to get Jaden Blue in there. Because I think him and Jaden Blue together would kill teams. Ron Hanna said if our defense does wake up and actually show up, we can go on a run. But, man, this is wishful thinking, y'all, but I'm praying for it. Yeah, the defense, they need to really make a turnaround this week. This coming week needs to be the change. They need to really they need to show some things against the New York Jets. Because you don't want to lose a game to the Jets. The Jets are not good. There's no reason they should be losing to the Jets. There's no reason.
Coming there. You ask why you believe that, we're getting,
right,
that things are up. He's one of them. I mean, between him and Bland getting healthier, Bland was right there on a couple of plays that, where he makes the play there, then you get them out and they punt. But, I just think we're going to continue to get better there in coverage, and I think we're going to continue to get better in pressure. And when that happens, I think we're doing a good job in the running game right now. And we just got to get, we got to get more pressure, and we certainly got to get our coverage down in Eberflus's scheme.
And you mentioned this last week as well. It feels like another spot where the execution level needs to be picked up tremendously is those missed tackles, because that felt like something that did really hinder, especially the run defense last night.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, there's a fine line there between going for the punch out and the strip and making a sound tackle. And I think that's what we're working through as well, because certainly we want to punch the ball out and get the ball. But at the same time, when you're spending a lot of your focus on that, and sometimes, the tackling's not perfect. So there's a fine line there that we got to get our hands around, but there's no question we can certainly tackle better. Jacobs is a hell of a back, and, you've got to give him a little credit too. But, I think overall, we let Love loose on a big one and Jacob on one big one. But, for the most part, I think we're feeling pretty good about what we're doing in the running game defensively.
How confident were you in George Pickens before last night, and did that confidence change after last night?
Well, we've been confident in George from day one. I mean, he's just an elite. He's got great, upside, and made big plays in the NFL ever since he walked into the NFL. And certainly he just did a great job. I think everybody was a little shell-shocked when we lost CD last week. And, those guys work as a unit. And I think he was a little down that he had to see his main guy, get injured there. But certainly, as you could see last night, he stepped up in a big way. And the guys got some very unique ability in terms of tracking balls and catching balls and making big plays. So really fortunate to have him. Like I said, there's a lot of good things going on the offensive side of the ball, and I do think we'll continue to get better defensively as we get healthier and execute better week in and week out in practice.
Do you happen to remember the first word out of your mouth whenever Dak threw that pass to Tolbert? Because it was a special throw, and I'm pretty sure mine was holy, and then a word I shouldn't have said in front of my son.
Yeah.
Hey, I said the same thing. I thought he was throwing it out of bounds, and there comes Tolbert back and drags his feet. And by the way, what a hell of a play by Tolbert too.
Yeah, that was a great catch by Tolbert.
And make that. I mean, both of them just made great plays there, and it was a holy you-know-what play.
The other thing, too, and this was talked about a lot last night, but I noticed it. Brandon Aubrey's field goal kicking is phenomenal. It's great. It's valuable. But on kickoffs last night, he was doing something special. How valuable is that to what you guys are doing?
Oh, well, these kicks, obviously with the new rules, everybody's figuring it out. And, obviously that's a huge penalty when you kick the ball in the end zone for a team to start at the 35.
Yeah.
And, as they say, we're a first down away from Brandon being able to kick a field goal. But there's a lot of kickers. I was watching the red zone yesterday, burning some time waiting for our game, and a lot of kickers making some long kicks and making them, even Green Bay's kicker. They had the long field goal there in regulation to tie it, and he made that with ease. And, these kickers are very skilled, and, a lot of them are getting that ball. They can hit these, 55, 60-plus yard field goals.
One of the unique opportunities we get from you is some insight from the competition committee standpoint as well. Has there been any discussion, or can you envision any discussion to try to curve some of the success that all these kickers have had?
Not really. I think it makes it exciting.
Why would you want to curb the success they're having?
And I don't think we're necessarily doing anything. It's not on the front burner to try to curb that success. These guys are just, talented men who have really have really fine-tuned their art of kicking the football and doing a great job. And I bet these kickoffs are going to get harder and harder as these kickers start to perfect, we call it the dirty balls that they're kicking, where you want that thing to slide in there and hit in the landing zone and then hopefully get in the end zone and not give them a return. Those are challenging for these returners. And I think it has really made the play interesting. It's certainly, we're at an all-time high in 20-plus years on kickoff returns, so certainly getting the job done. And the great news is that that the injury rate is just like a line of scrimmage play. So hats off to all the special team coaches who put a lot of work into it, and I think we've come up with a really fun play to watch for our fans.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Stephen, before we let you go, is there any truth to the rumor that the AT&T Stadium official timekeeper is a Packers fan? Because there was 1 second left on that clock last night.
Put it at 0.
Well, we're on a search for a new clock keeper. No, unfortunately, I think it was correct, and but I'm with you. They should have at least had to review it.
Yes,
I can't believe it didn't go to 0 and then have them have to go back and look.
Yes, as 100%. I was like, let them review it and figure it out. Put it at 0. Game over. I'm glad that you feel the same way after a confusing aftermath of.
I'll probably get kicked off the competition committee after that comment.
All right. Thank you very much, good sir, for the time. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Yeah, that was a tough one there, man. That was a tough one. Let me read a super chat from 03. 03, I agree with you. 03 said folks not realizing we can potentially go on a 6-game win streak the way we're playing. I think so too. Offensively, the way the offense is playing, they just got to figure out a way to get them down. They got to figure out a way. They have to figure out a way to get the defense situated. And man, let me do one last segment. This thing with Trayvon Diggs. This thing with Trayvon Diggs was like, it was wild, and it was wild to me the way this thing was going. Yeah, it was wild the way this. It's wild the way this thing was going, man. Trayvon Diggs was like, it almost. I thought he broke down in tears after the game. I didn't know what was going on. The way he was hugging on Michael Parsons, and they traded jerseys and everything. And man, I mean, he was like losing it. And you know what? And let me bring this up too. Let me bring up a couple of things here. I'll be honest with you. I felt really bad when I saw Michael Parsons hug Dak Prescott. I felt really bad because it hit me that moment. It hit me that moment. It seemed like it just didn't seem right that Michael Parsons was playing for Green Bay. It didn't seem right. It really hit me that moment. Like I really felt bad when and again, Michael Parsons and Jerry Jones, I'm telling you, it was just a bad deal. Just things got personal. Things got personal. And because things got personal, that was the result. But man, I'm telling you, I did. I felt I can't help but admit, I have to admit it. I felt some type of way. I really did. And it seemed like Michael, that was the first time that when I saw Michael Parsons, I said, Michael Parsons overplayed his hand. And no doggone well he didn't want to play. And no doggone well he didn't want to play in Green Bay. He listened to David Mulugeta, and David Mulugeta does what David Mulugeta does. Did what he does. When he wants to get the money for his player, he don't give a doggone about that team that he's coming from, and he's willing to get that player traded. But I have got to admit, man, I felt real bad for the first time since that trade. I felt bad. I had one of them, I had one of those kind of tearing up moments. I felt bad. Y'all tell me what you think. I don't mean to get all sentimental on you, but man, I'm telling you, it really hit me when him and Dak hugged, man. I was like, it wasn't the Trayvon Diggs thing, because this thing with Trayvon Diggs, Trayvon Diggs just one of them dudes, man. Trayvon Diggs is different. But it just seemed to me, it just seemed to me it was the first time I saw in his face, like, I think this dude know he out of place. Man, there are just sometimes, guys, I mean, there are just sometimes in your life, man, that you do something, and even though you might get something that you want, but you just kind of look at it and go, man, you know what? This is cool, but I wish I would have worked that out. It just hit me in a different way. It really did. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but boy, it hit me in a different way, man. It really did. When I saw him and Dak and the way they kind of carried on, and just looking at the look on his face, I was just like, wow, man. this dude, I really think this dude realizes he overplayed his hand and that he wanted to be in Dallas. All right, let's look at Trayvon Diggs. It's not so much what Trayvon Diggs was saying. It's the way he was. It's the way he was. And I think a part of it is that he was a little bit perturbed that he didn't start. I don't know if y'all seen some of the videos. Dak was giving the speech in the middle, and he was just kind of like doing his own thing. I'm sure he's listening, but he was like he's doing his own thing. It's tough, man. Let me just let you watch Trayvon Diggs if you hadn't seen this.
Finally getting kind of a face-to-face reunion with him.
It was good. I haven't seen my brother in a long time, so it was good to see him happy. Glad he came out of the game healthy.
What was it like for you? I don't think you started tonight. Was that a health situation, or what went into that? Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
And then how would you assess your play? Now, you did come in and you played a starter's levels amount of snaps.
Yeah.
A lot of it looked like you got a lot of man opportunities after you played a lot. You played a lot of zone all year.
Yeah. You talking about how I played when I got in?
Yeah.
I think I played pretty good. Do you?
Yeah, he played good.
I think I did pretty good.
I was going to watch the film.
Yeah, he played good.
This defense can get a stop in the second half. What do you attribute that to?
We played a great team today. I think we just gotta get off the field on third down. I think that's the main part. Once we do that, we'll be ready.
Where have the improvements come from defensively? Have you seen any over the course of the last couple of weeks?
I feel like we execute more. I feel like we getting the defense down. It's gonna take a little bit, more. We got to dive in a little bit more and, get it done. We've been giving up a lot of points.
Man, y'all tell me I cannot quite put my finger on it. But Diggs' demeanor is something is up, man. Diggs just, I'm not sure if he's checked out on the Cowboys. He played well. I mean, it's not like he checked out on the field, but I don't know. Letting Kyrie Elam start in front of you would probably make you upset too. Because that doggone Kyrie Elam, boy, man, there's just some players you just got to admit. Kyrie Elam just don't fit this scheme or something. He just, man. Ooh. Brandon Green, I'll give you this. Brandon Green said, gee, this defense can only go up. We're ranked dead last. That's right. You're right. You're right. For sure. Poobie D, what up with you? Yes, sir. Checking in from the St. Lucia. Hope all is well. Yes, sir. Hope all is well with you, too. Lost in translation. Man, I don't know what it was. But it was the first time since I've been having this discussion. Boy, I saw this dude, and I feel bad, man. It was the first time I saw Michael Parsons, and I said, man, this dude know dang on well he shouldn't be on Green Bay. That's what hit my head. I said, this dude know doggone well he shouldn't be playing for Green Bay. I felt bad, man. I really did. I have to admit, I felt bad. Data Jet, he said, I believe in the team more now than ever. The Dak is reading defenses. Man, I'm telling you, I feel bad, boy. I feel bad. But this dude, Trayvon Diggs, man, he seemed like he is out of it. He really does, man. He seemed like he out of it. Lost in translation, he said the media hyped this thing up for the drama when men really care about each other. Yeah, lost in translation. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was tough. I mean, It was tough. Carolina Cowboy, he said Michael Parsons was full of regret. You can see it. Bro. Bro, I'm telling you, I feel bad. I did, man. I feel bad. Terry Rose said, why would anyone want to play in that article when they can play in Big D where the stars shine bright? Yeah, man, I feel bad. Yeah, man. I feel bad, boy. I did. I did, man. It was bad. Okay, Basil said, be careful what you wish for, G. You might get it. Okay, I'm hoping it's a Super Bowl. $72 Chevelle, he said, I'm glad he's gone and Diggs is next. He bothered Jerry. Jerry didn't follow Michael Parsons, and Dak did his part. A real true human being showing Michael Parsons play, but wasn't doing it because of personal doings. Bro, I think the thing with Trayvon Diggs, I think it was twofold. I think he was perturbed because he didn't start. And I think he was perturbed seeing Michael Parsons. Boy, it messed him up, bro. I was like, golly. Lost in translation, you said it perfect. He seems defeated. Yes. He seemed defeated. Yeah. Lock and D said he missed Michael. Gerald said, I feel the same way about Diggs. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, C-Base, I believe it. Diggs misses Michael Parsons. I see you, Poopy D. You up in there chilling. Yeah. Ron Hanna acting weird to me because Michael ain't here. His body language saying he's butthurt. Michael gone. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, he seems like he's lost his partner in crime. Yeah, I agree. Miss Matrix, you know what? I don't think a lot of us wanted. Sometimes, you kind of get caught up in the, he wants to leave. He wrote the letter. But I tell you this, Miss Matrix, I could be totally wrong. But when I saw the look on that man's face when he hugged Dak Prescott, I said to myself, man, this dude know doggone well he wasn't supposed to be with Green Bay. Yep, Bernard Fields. He said, I feel you. Michael was playing the game he didn't want to play, but the game got rules. The system just took its course. And Bernard, I think David Mulugeta had him playing the game. He chose Mulugeta over the Cowboys because he was going to get paid. I don't care what anyone say. He was going to get paid. But it is what it is. Miss Matrix said, Diggs think he played good, but I bet you he didn't hop in Bubba Dub's inbox this week. I bet he didn't either, Miss Matrix. I bet he didn't either. Yeah, I bet he didn't jump in them inboxes this week. I don't think Bubba Dub said anything about him, though. Yeah, I don't think he said anything about him. Boy. Saying things like, I no longer want to play for the Cowboys, that's what gets you. C-Base, look at this comment by the Rain Man. Boy, now, I ain't going to say the word, but you remember that sound snippet Parsons knew in that moment? In the end, yes, sir, he messed up. I agree, the Rain Man. I agree. It's just crazy to me, boy. I feel bad. I felt bad, but it is what it is. But this dude, Trayvon Diggs, this dude is like mentally checked out on the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure he's playing right now for knowing that he's probably not going to be here next year. So he's trying to play the best, play his best game. And I hope he gives us his best season, so he can go out there and further his career and Cowboys can maybe get a good trade for him. But he seems checked out on this team.
So we just gotta control that and get that done.
Facing a quarterback like Jordan Love, what did you kind of see from the way he was extending plays and keeping things going?
Jordan Love is a great quarterback. He got a lot of talent over there. He was extending a lot of plays, doing what he do. We played a good quarterback today, and we played a great team today. So.
What was it like for you seeing Micah in overtime? He tackled Dak when it looked like maybe he was going to get in the end zone, forced the pressure to force you guys to kick a field goal.
Yeah, that was a great play by him. I'm happy for him. Sad we ended up in a tie, but that's how the game goes. Thank you.
Thanks, Trey. Appreciate you.
You guys are right there. It's just clean.
Yeah. Boy, Trayvon Diggs. Man, Trayvon Diggs in his feelings, man. Trayvon Diggs in his feelings. He is absolutely in his feelings. I was trying to find that video, but I was trying to find that video, boy, but that dude there, boy, he was in his feelings. He was in his feelings. Again, like I said, you think about the fact he didn't start, didn't quite understand why he was tripping on that because he wasn't going to play every snap anyway, and he doesn't need to play every snap. He's trying to get back. He's trying to get himself back, but it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. It was. I felt really bad, though. I had a bad feeling. I did. Bernard said Diggs just a shy, emotional dude with talent, and he's not a people person. That's why folks think he's weird. Yeah, I can feel you on that. I also think he understands the situation. I think he understands he needs to be playing as hard as he needs to play because he's probably not going to be with the Cowboys next year. I think he knows that. Derek Rose said the problem was Michael thinking about Diggs when he decided to head out to Siberia. Man, it was a trip, man. It was a trip. But I tell you, boy, once I saw Michael Parsons, man, I had an emotional moment. I wasn't quite like Diggs. I wasn't quite like Diggs is right now. But boy, I felt bad when I saw Michael Parsons' face, man. It just didn't seem right. It just didn't seem right. Ronan the voice, he said Parsons played games. He said, when you dance with the devil, you can't expect heaven. Woo! Boy, I'm going to use that in a sermon, Ronan the voice. Boy, I'm going to use that in a sermon right there. When you dance with the devil, you can't expect heaven. Boy, I got to give you another one on that, boy. Woo! Angie, Bubba Dub said he's still trash. He still said he trash. Come on, Bubba Dub, man. Leave Diggs alone, man. Leave Diggs alone. Oddball, he said Diggs, he said, heck, Diggs can take his butt up to Green Bay with his boyfriend. Then Michael said he ain't want to play for Dallas no more. He got his wish. Oh, that's what you meant, Basil. That's what you meant, Basil. Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Yeah. Angie said, how you bitch Diggs but not sunburn is insane. Angie. Diabolical. Angie. You bench Diggs, even though he wasn't really benched. He was probably going to switch in and out anyway. But I understand these guys take a lot of pride in starting. You bench Diggs, you let Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, Elam start, and Jack Sanborn. Angie, diabolical. 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 Absolutely diabolical. Jack Sanborn should not be on the field again for the Cowboys. Dale Colwell, he said, what up, G? He said, Diggs' body is here, but his mind is on the other side of town. Yep. The Rain Man up in there snapping. Rain Man snapping in there. He said, you've lost that love and fever. Why you snapping? Boy, you snapping it in the Rain Man. Or are you snapping? Shoo. Angie says, I'll even bench Elam and Dono before I bench Diggs. Those are the players that get targeted the most by the opposing team. Angie, you cooking. You cooking. I don't understand it. Ain't no way I'm benching. You know, they talking about these personnel moves, and Trayvon Diggs was the move? Man, come on. I had already said Diggs shouldn't play more than 30 snaps. I still say let him just keep getting that knee right. Let him play about 30 snaps. And then maybe by mid-season, maybe you ramp him up. But I was already cool with that part. But to prove the point of not starting him and starting Kyer Elam, who had been getting burnt like doggone waffles that had been left in the toaster too long, and then Sanborn out there missing every tap. Oh, man. Whew. Daniel M., he says, I think the Diggs is not 100%. I don't either. But I thought last game he played solid, and I think benching some of these players and rotating them will light a fire under them and play better. I think Diggs should be rotating anyway. But I think he took a little bit of offense to not being named the starter. I think he would have been cool with it even if he had only played 30 snaps. But again, trying to prove a point benching him? You want to really prove a point? Bench Sanborn. I mean, injury, turf toe took care of Malik Hooker. Bench Sanborn and put Marquise Bell in the place of doggone Marquise Bell. Mills 36. Diggs had a big game changing tackle. Oh yeah, he did. Big change because we wouldn't even have a chance to win. Not only that, he almost got an interception that had not been 12 men on the field. 555 said Jones gave Micah his money number guaranteed. Hey, and it's over after this year. That's how I know he's gone. But he gone after this year, no doubt about it. Miss Matrix said, what didn't seem right about it, G? The hug, the jersey swap, or the interview? It didn't seem like he should have. It didn't seem right because it didn't seem like he wanted to be with the Packers at that moment. You tell me what you think, Miss Matrix. It seemed like to me he just knew he was out of place. It just felt like I messed up. It just felt like I just saw in his face at that moment, like, I think there's a song that talks about how did we get here? It was like there was a look in his face, Miss Metrics, like, how did we get here? How did we get to this point where I'm hugging you and I'm on the other side I'm on another team? Man, it just hit me wrong, Miss Matrix. Maybe it's just me, but I felt bad when I saw Michael Parsons. I was like, this dude ain't supposed to be in Green Bay. You say what's off about Diggs? Body language. Also, if you look at the pregame, I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. Trayvon Diggs in the pregame was already perturbed. He's already perturbed. Dak was giving his speech, and Diggs looked like he wasn't even interested. Yeah, he wasn't even interested. And then to see him in the pregame, the way he's kind of talking, I mean, just, it don't seem game related. It don't seem game related. And I do think I think that Trayvon Diggs may be acting out the way that I'm talking. That maybe he was a little bit upset about. Maybe it hit him too to see Michael Parsons on the other side. Maybe it messed with him too. But he seemed a little bit off. But like I said, I think he had a good game. I don't understand, the frustrations with not being the starter when I don't think you were going to play more than 30 snaps anyway. But it just seemed a little off to me. Like, I think like everybody was kind of realizing, man, we're not even supposed to be here like this. Derek Posey said, if I'm the GM, I don't want anyone by the name Jack on my team. Oh, you ain't lying, boy. Yeah, Durain, man, I'm with you, man. It just seemed like, man, he's checked out, man. If you know, you know. He said, laugh out loud. You can tell his body here, but his mind is out of touch. The love of the game is gone. Yeah. I mean, I'd be honest with you. If I was Cowboys, I would look at trading him, which I think they are going to try to trade him. But let him go to Green Bay. I mean, him and Michael just seem to be, they're so close. Let him go to Green Bay. Tough one, man. All right, I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. We're going to get back on track. I had a day off. We're going to get back on track, though. Tomorrow, we're going to be early because I got Bible study, and then we're going to be back in this thing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to be talking all things Jets. Man, I'm telling you, that tie game with the Green Bay Packers and the build-up with Micah Parsons, I don't know if there's been a game that we've moved on quicker from than that game. It just, the whole thing with Micah and Green Bay and the hype and then the 40-40, the tie. I mean, I think everybody just ready to put that game behind them. I know I am. We all Jets tomorrow. Woo, boy, Angie hit it. Angie cooking. She said Diggs thought him and Michael was going to play together forever. He feel like the OJs. Brandy, when are you coming back home? I know what you're talking about, Angie. My dad used to be a DJ. Woo, boy, I really miss you. I know exactly what you're talking about, boy. Woo, boy. Boy. Daglib, he said, G, you're right about that, but I think that benching players and rotating them will make their team better. For example, bench Sanborn for Leo Fowler and James. Shoot, bench. They need to cut Sanborn. They need to cut Sanborn. Shoot, cut that joker. Lock and D, he said they need to spy Justin Fields. Maurice Leofau needs to be the spy for the next 6 games. Derek Rose said, yes, I agree with you, G. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and Michael's heart is still in Dallas. It seemed like to me, too. It did. Shaw, I'm in 100% agreement. Listening to that greedy agent got him there. It did. It did. Angie, I bet in the future he would come back too. If there was an avenue, he probably would come back. David Babbleboy said G11 will be back, book it, and he'll still be ran on. Yeah, Durain, man, I think they're going to trade Diggs, bro. I do. Lost in Translation said, this is where the coaches earn their money. If you don't get your head into the game, you're going to get hurt. Yeah. You know, it's crazy that he stopped the podcast now that he's playing with the Green Bay Packers. I mean, if he did that in Dallas, it would have been great. The real estate vet, what's up? He said, Parsons misses us and we miss him, even the personality. It's a part of human connection. As humans, we all need that connection. Man. Ron Hanna, I'm telling you, man, I'm getting emotional talking about it. Ron Hanna said, nah, I felt that way as well, G. It looks wrong, and I was kind of like, wow, seeing him in that ugly uniform. Boy, me too. Me too. Miss Major said, I think it was sadness. I know the scenario was different, but it felt the same way with Zeke. Sad to be gone, whatever the circumstances. Ooh, it was tough. Miss Majors, I'm telling you, I was in my feelings. I was in my feelings. Lisa said, look on the bright side, we got the #1 offense and a good defensive line. All we need now is to get the secondary and the cornerbacks playing on the same level. We'll be all right. Lisa, I think we need another linebacker. I think the cornerbacks will probably be better, and I think they need to make that change at safety. But I do think that Wanye Thomas is going to be a part of it getting better. We just got to work on getting Donovan Wilson. I don't want there to be no doggone injury. Bench him. Bench him. Bernard Field said that look, Michael had kind of looked like a child causing an argument between his or her parents and realizing they were done. Boy, burn all feels. You said it, bro. Woo! Angie, you too? Angie, me too. Reminds me of my mom. She's passed on. Reminds me of my mom. Boy, it makes me sad. But that song hit that feeling right on point. You right. That song right there. I might go listen to that tonight, Angie, and make myself cry. David said, gee, the OJ song Brandy was about a dog. I always thought differently. Boy, that was a song though, boy. That song come on. Woo! Whoa. Angie, you cooking. Say it again. Say it again, Angie. Money don't make you happy. Woo! I'm getting emotional. I got to get out of here, y'all. I'm getting emotional. I'm an emotional person sometimes. Woo! All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me. I can't. Angie done hit me with this doggone Brandy song. I'm done, y'all. I can't do it. Man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. We're gonna be acclimating our call. We had a good time on Sunday night on our call. Now I gotta do that during the regular hour so I can get some of y'all in on the regular hour too and have a good time. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on video, and I'll see y'all again tomorrow live around 4 o'clock. Until the next time, TC4L, God bless. Prayers up for Danny and his mom. Prayers up. Appreciate y'all. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys where we talk facts. Peace. Darren Pose, let me get this last one in. Michael's family didn't even look happy. Woo, boy, you said it. Oh, Darren Posey. Y'all killing me up in here. Woo! Darren Posey said Michael's family didn't even look happy. Woo, man. Y'all got me in my feelings. Peace.